everybody. I am just sitting outside because it's a really nice day, and I figured I would continue the relationships saga. Okay, after Sean passed away, me and the first girlfriend got back together. And we kind of did this whole on and off thing for some months. We broke up. We were actually together that entire summer, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Sorry if my hair looks weird. It's up in a bun because it's at a really awkward length right now, so I'll just keep putting it up. Also, happy Pride. We were on and off again throughout the rest of that year. That fall was the first time that I did anything with a girl. And I was staying with my sister and ex-brother-in-law at the time, and he was a jerk. He was an absolute jerk. Like, me and him fought all the time over my oldest nephew because he wanted to act like he had joint custody with his ex-wife, and they had 4 kids together, and he only got them like every other weekend or something like that, and he wasn't going to be able to have them on Halloween. So he threw an absolute fit about it and was like, we're not going to decorate for Halloween. We're not going to get a pumpkin. And I'm like, what do you mean we're not going to get a pumpkin? We're not going to get a pumpkin for my nephew? But anyway, that's an entirely different story. He did the same thing at Christmas time. He was like, if my kids aren't going to be here, then I don't want to have a Christmas tree. But me and my sister went ahead and put it up anyway, because why wouldn't we, But yeah, that was an entirely different story. But I was living with them because no, that happened after I got kicked out. All right. So it was about Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day 2009, and my mom, I'd spent the weekend at my sister's house, and then whenever I got home that Sunday, they were like, okay, we're all gonna go to church, and my mom was like, no, we're just gonna stay behind. I feel like I've talked about this before, but yeah, Mom confronted me about the letters and said a whole bunch of hurtful stuff, and then made me choose, to never see my girlfriend again, and be straight. So, howdy. So, I ended up having to leave because I chose to not hide myself anymore, no matter, what situation that was going to put me in. Because at the time, I had no idea where I was going to go. I was packing all I could. And then whenever my sister and ex-brother-in-law got home, back to my mom and dad's house after church, they took me in. And that's where I stayed for the duration of my senior year. And my girlfriend ended up breaking up with me after that. Not immediately after that, but, close. And then I ended up dating this other girl toward the end of my senior year. And then she informed me, like, a week before school let out, that she was going to be moving to Ohio. And she said she would probably be back in the fall time, but yeah, no. She even was like trying to get me to come with her, and I was just like, I can't. So she went up there, and then she started telling me, you know, that she had, you know, she was talking to this guy. And I was just like, okay, well, then I guess that means we're not together anymore. You know, I never really talked to her after that. So whenever she moved back, she assumed we were still together, and I was like, no, we're not. You had a boyfriend when you were in Ohio. No, we're not together. So, yeah. I talked to a few people online after that. And then I want to say about the end of September. This girl I had only known because she was really popular and she was on the basketball team, and she got into a really bad car accident and she didn't finish out senior year. The car accident actually almost killed her. It made her lose parts of her memory. It disfigured her a little bit, but she contacted me on MySpace, and we started hanging out, and she had a boyfriend, but he was okay with her having a girlfriend until he wasn't. Because this girl, I don't know. I think I was just in a really, really dark place at that point in time. I ended up getting kicked out of my sister's house because of an argument we had. I stayed at the girlfriend's house who had the boyfriend, and they slept in their room, and I slept on the couch in the living room, and she had twin babies, and they were not the boyfriend's, and they were just a few months old. And so I kind of did get a little used in this situation. Like, in the morning times, her mom was an RN, so she'd go to work. Her stepdad would be there. He would have one twin, and I would have the other twin, and the baby would sleep on the couch with me. And then if it needed to be, you know, changed his diaper or fed or whatever, I'd get up and do it. And, you know, the stepdad would take care of the other one. And I also was trying to work at the time at Walmart. And I had a car. They did not have a car, so we were also having to take him and back and forth to work, which was a very, very far drive. I want to say over an hour from, like, Macquarie County all the way to almost Clinton County. And it was just, she talked me into sleeping with him one time for her, because I don't know why, but she wanted me to, and I did it, and it was not fun, and it was very boring, and it was very short. And once this dude realized that I wasn't going to be with him too, I guess, that's whenever he started being like very cold toward me and very jealous with her over me. And I remember one night, this wasn't over me, but they got in a fight in the parking lot of this club we were at. Those clubs wasn't even my scene, but that's where she wanted to go. So me and him and her would go, and they got into an argument, and instead of me getting in my car and driving away, I think one of them had the keys at the time, and I was just over it. So I just took off walking, and they found me a few hours later, a couple miles down the road, trying to walk back to their house, which is a very, very far walk. I was just mad. I was just really, really mad, and I didn't care where I was going or anything. So, yeah. I started noticing her pulling away a lot, and it was my, let's see, it was my 19th birthday. I had been woken up that morning, as usual, to hold one of the babies, and I was half asleep. And over the news, I heard that one of my friends had been killed in a car accident, and she had been very intoxicated. It was just a really sad, I was very upset. And that was also the day she decided that she wanted to break up. And I got in an argument with her and went outside, and once again didn't think about taking my car. I just took off walking. I didn't know where I was going to go, but she came after me and then stopped the car in the middle of the road, and she got out, and she was like trying to pull me back in the car and screaming at me, and she acted like she was going to hit me, and I was just like, go ahead and do it, just hit me then. But she didn't, and she eventually got me into the car. And then whenever we were driving, she kept on and kept on and kept on, and I was just like, please stop the car and let me out. Just please stop the car and let me out. And she wouldn't. So I flung the door open and was going to tuck and roll, and she pulled me in by the hair of my head and stopped at a gas station, and she was just like, stay in the car, I'll be right back, I gotta go in here and get a pack of cigarettes or something. And lo and behold, here comes an ambulance, like not that long later, and she had told them that I was suicidal and I was trying to kill myself, and they took me to the hospital, and they had my parents put me on a suicide watch. They did not admit me, but my parents took me home and was making, they made sure I was okay. And then my aunt ended up taking me over there to get my stuff, and she tried to sweet talk me and stuff there, and was just like, are you sure this is how you want it to end? Da, 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 da. I was just like, oh, you're the one that tried to break up with me, but whatever. And my aunt ended up taking her into a room by themselves, and she told her that I'd already moved on and I'd found another girlfriend. And mind you, this was like a month or so after everything. And I didn't have a girlfriend, but I was talking to someone. But my aunt was like, she's moved on, you need to let her go. And then 2 months after that, I get a call from her boyfriend saying that one of the twins had died, and it was the one that I took care of all the time. So I ended up going to the funeral. It was open casket funeral. It was awful. I couldn't even walk all the way up there once. I tried, and she ended up passing away like 3 years after that. She got hit by a car, and it killed her. But, okay, let's go back to after me and her ended. I got on Plenty of Fish and matched with this girl, and she definitely wasn't my type because she was a little older, and she just wasn't what I was looking for. But I gave her a shot anyway, and you know what they say, when you settle. And me and her both had settled. I know we had. But from the get-go, I had told her about, everything with Sean. And, it was still very, very fresh at that time. So she proceeds to tell me about her little boy who passed away in a car accident. And she had him because she was, essayed, and got pregnant from it. And she had this album full of pictures of her son. And, on the back of them, all of the names were whited out, all the writing. So I got curious and I scratched it off. And it was saying an entirely different name than what she said her son's name was. And whenever I confronted her about it, she said that it was her ex-husband who thought it was the neighbor kid and wrote on the back of it. And I knew. I was just like, okay. But I just, let it go. And then, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
There were several occasions where I tried to break up with her, and it just didn't happen, There was one time she actually did block me from going back into, our house unless I got back with her. She's like, you're not going to go back inside unless you agree to stay in a relationship with me. And I agreed. And that was just a really, really rough time. My nephew was born, and I had to go spend time with my sister, my family, And she told me she was going to go hang out with a guy and a girl. It was a couple, and they were her friends that she'd met online. And she said, yeah, we're just going to go hang out in the Walmart parking lot. We're going to drive around, because there wasn't really much to do in our town. And so I was just like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. And I got this really, really weird feeling at one point of the night. And I decided to call her. And she was just like, yeah, we're just sitting here hanging out, blah, 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 blah. Well, I can't tell you how long later it was, but Ricky came to me, and actually Eric and Ricky both came to me and was like, your girlfriend thinks that she's pregnant because she cheated on you. And I did some investigating, and I finally got the truth out of her. And whenever I had called, they had just got done having sex. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. They had just finished up cheating on me. And then I called, like literally right after. So I called him up, freaked him out, and was like, yeah, you got her pregnant, so you're going to have to be the one to take care of the baby and her now, because she can't stay here anymore. I had this dude shaking in his boots. He was freaking out. He's like, I'm not ready to be a dad. I don't want to have any commitment. I didn't mean for it to be like this. Da-da-da-da. And by the way, there was never no other girlfriend. There was nobody else there but him and her. And who does that in a Walmart parking lot? That's gross. Anyway, let's see. So around that time, I also decided to look more closely at the pictures of the little boy, and there's another little girl in the photo with him. And, my girlfriend at the time was just like, oh, that's a neighbor kid. That's my best friend's kid. They were neighbors. And I scratched all of the white off of it, and I looked that girl up on Facebook. And she told me that my girlfriend never had a son, and there was never no accident. The boy she was claiming was her son was that was her son was actually this girl's brother, and he was very much alive. And she sent recent pictures of what he looks like. And she told me that my girlfriend and her mom used to be best friends. And they ended up stopped talking to her because she was lying and going around saying that that little boy was hers. And she was never essayed, not by that guy. Or at least, and it resulted in a pregnancy. That never happened. I don't know if she was by that guy or not, but and the messed up part about all of it is that she used this to play off losing Sean, and to, I guess, use it as a tactic to try to get closer to me and my family, because she and my sister bonded over that, and they cried over it. And, whenever I first told my sister, I was like, I think she's lying about her kid. And my sister was like, on her side, she was like, why would she do that? She wouldn't, a mother would never do that. I don't know why you're thinking that she's lying, da 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 da. And, I finally pieced it all together, got all the proof, figured it all out. At that point, me and her had been pretty much separated. She was still living at the house. She would not sleep on the couch in the living room, and she wouldn't sleep in the van. So she would sleep on the floor in our room, because I would absolutely not let her sleep on the bed with me, because it was a whole lot more than just that one guy. Years later, I was working at the same place that she had been working at, and this random guy came up to me, and he was like, hey, did you used to date so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that she was with anyone. She would sleep with me in order for me to, take her back and forth from work to home, and not have to give me gas money. He's like, she would give me that or cigarettes. And he was like, I'm really sorry that happened. I didn't know she was with anyone. And this girl was something else, y'all. It even goes beyond that. I can't even think of everything. But yeah, we weren't together, but we weren't trying to treat her badly. So, okay, so Thanksgiving, we go over to my friend's sister's house to stay the night. And she was working, but she was like, whenever I get off work, I can come there. And the thing about it is my friend was going to have to go get her. And it was a far drive, but he didn't care to go, he didn't care to do it. So time came, and she was just like, I'm just going to stay home. And we're just like, okay. That's weird. You were all about going. But anyway, we did Thanksgiving and everything, and whenever it was time to go home, we came home to trash all over the floor, alcohol spilled on the carpet, the bottle was tipped over, and some of her stuff was missing, and she literally had just up and left, which she owed bills, and she just pretty much split on us. And I never saw her again. She called me drunk a few times after that, texted me, but no, yeah, I was absolutely so relieved to get out of that relationship. And don't know why I put myself through those kind of things. You just get with the wrong people sometimes. You just get with the wrong people. And she was definitely one of the wrong ones. So.
You have a lot of wrong ones.
Yeah, I do. But, yeah, that's basically the end of the second part before I decide to go any further. But this was absolutely probably one of the worst situations I've been in.
And the craziest. One of the craziest.
One of the craziest situations I've ever been in when it comes to a partner. But, yeah. Hopefully you will want to come back for part 3 to hear about my further endeavors. Bye.